it's Christine, and it is day 31 of 30 Days of Sketches with Christy's Beautiful Life. So this is our bonus sketch. Let me show this to you real quick. It is by, I'm going to say her name wrong, so I'm so sorry. Jennifer Gagne is what I'm thinking. It's Gagne. Looks like she is on, I'm thinking this is an Instagram handle, Kaismum. I've seen her stuff, Kaismum, I think. Anyways, it's got one photo with some layers behind in the center here, and then 4 little embellishment clusters with some mixed media on top of like a mounted or like a matted 12 by 12. Okay, what I've got going on here, y'all, I don't have much of my Obed Marshall's Fantastico left. And in fact, this isn't even that. So I've got this. I technically have, okay, hold on. I technically have this page here, which has like little cards on it. I think I'm going to use that for my layers behind here. I have this full sheet here, but I think I'm going to set it aside as a nice little background for something else in the future, because that's going to be the only sheet I have left, but it's a nice little 12 by 12 that can be used for something else. So I'm going to end up using 2 basic pieces of cardstock as my background here. I got a yellow to mat it, and then I've got a white to go on top, and that's where my mixed media and stuff's going to go. But this is what I have left of the collection I'm planning on using here. The photo is my in-laws and my daughter. We were at Chuck E. Cheese. Oh, I don't know when this was. Oh, 2003. And I'm going to cut this down just a little bit because it looks kind of, the photo itself looks a little square to me. I'm not going to cut too much off, but I think I'll cut maybe this little section here. I'll end up with a square. This is a nice little square for the middle, and then I'll just kind of use those cards here as like layers behind. Okay. And then I'm going to use these as like the banners. And then I pulled out from my stash, it's called Family Fun by Simple Stories. And this blue arrow kind of goes with this blue dot. So I'm going to use that. I don't know. I still got a little bit of this candy stuff, but I don't think I'm going to use this. I don't think. Because I only need, technically for the sketch, I need 2 banners, and I think that's going to be enough. And then I have all these random ephemeras. So y'all, the last few layouts here, I've had to embrace the random because I have these weirdly random ephemeras in these collections left. So I'm going to embrace the random on this one as well. I have popcorn, so that's kind of cool in the sense of like it was a little, it's not called Recreation Park because it's just Chuck E. Cheese, but you know, recreational stuff. So the TVs make 0 sense, except for there are TVs in the little eating area. So you know what? That's what we're going with. And the title I'm going to use is Estar Juntos es mi lugar favorito. I'm in Texas, so I have a little bit of Spanish, but not much. So hopefully I didn't butcher that too badly. But it's called Being Together is My Favorite Place. So I thought that was pretty apropos. And then I do have some little sticky or little puffy stickers left here. So let me get to cutting down some of my stuff here, and I will come back on. Oh, I got to pick my mixed media. Had to pick my mixed media. I'm going to use blue, I think. No. Yes, I think so. Let me find a color here, and I'll come back on. All right, talk soon. Okay, you guys, I ended up with the yellow. I think I said I was going to do blue, and I ended up with yellow. And I've got a Dylusions here, and I think it's called Sunflower. And when I say yellow, it's kind of an orangey yellow. And so I'm going to end up putting that on the packaging technique. I've recently realized that if I put just a tiny bit on my package, I don't end up with as big a mess. I don't know why I didn't think about that before, but anyway, so I just put a few little drops, and it just gives me more control. I think I'm just, I used to try much bigger pieces and it's just, I make such a huge mess with these little bits. It's just a little more controlled, and I don't feel like I'm all over the place. I feel like in my intro, y'all, I talked a long time, so I apologize, and I'm grateful you got this far if you did. I don't know why, I guess because I was in too much thought. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and do these 2 pieces here, these 2 little sections that I'm going to cut away because it's just basically the same process all the way around the paper. So now you can see I've got my 4. Now I've gone ahead and mounted it on my yellow outer mat or whatever, and I've matted my photo on the yellow. I think I got on that same yellow cardstock, y'all. I'm not looking at the layout, and this has been a few days now. I got the photo matted on the little yellow cardstock. And I'm now just kind of picking out these little layers. I did trim that paper up that had the little cards or the little 2x3s, 3x4s. I trimmed those up, and I'm using those as my layers. And I end up with 4 of those. And I think this looks pretty cute. I'm actually really pleased with this. And I used those little cards up, which can kind of be hard to use if you don't use the like Project Lifestyle scrapbooking. I mean, they're good for journaling and everything on a scrapbook page, but to have a whole sheet of them sometimes is hard to use it up. So I'm pleased to use these up behind the photo here, and I'm just building my little layers. I will decide in a minute to put the photo up on foam tape, so I'll do that. I pulled this one out here, though. This is a 4x6 one, and I'm thinking, oh, this could be cute for the title, and I thought maybe I'll layer it behind it, and then I thought, nope, just cut the title out of there. You don't need all that, so I'll cut that title out of that pink, the full pink side, the full pink thing. I start right that, and then I realize I need to trim off the top part because it looks a little funny. So that's going to end up actually being my title, is Happy Day. I think I said in the beginning I was going to use that little Spanish phrase, but that's going to end up almost like the journaling in a sense down the lower left corner. And I'm really pleased with how that turns out. I'm going to just glue all this stuff down now. I'll just tell you real quickly. So this was, like I said, at Chuck E. Cheese. You would think this might be a birthday or something like that, but it really wasn't. It was just kind of a little weekend. We used to spend not every weekend with my in-laws, but, quite a few of them. We had a pretty good relationship. We used to live real close together. I mean, not even 5 minutes from each other. And then because of my job, honestly, we moved about 35, 40 minutes away. So it was a little harder to see them as often, but we did still see them every couple of weeks at least. And my daughter just adored her granddaddy. And I say all these words, you kind of hear them in the past tense because they have both passed away. They both got they got the big C words, and so different kinds, but both of them passed pretty close together, if I'm honest, within months of each other. It was pretty devastating for my husband and my granddaughter, or not my granddaughter, my daughter as a granddaughter. So it's we really are pleased that we were able to spend all that time with him over time, and it was kind of, I always were unintentional. It wasn't like we knew they were sick when we were spending that time with them, but we did, and. So this was just one of those random weekends where we had met kind of about halfway between, I guess it was, and had gone to Chuck E. Cheese. We didn't go very often to Chuck E. Cheese. I don't really know why, unless it was just because I really don't know why. We just really never did. My daughter didn't really love it. I mean, it was okay. She plays, they play games and stuff like that. I think it's because I think you had to use coins or something like that, as I remember correctly. And I love my husband, but he's a bit of a cheapskate. And he doesn't want to spend that money on them video games and whatnot. He'd much rather go do something a little bit bigger impact, maybe skydiving or something. Not that you could take a 4-year-old skydiving, but he's definitely one of the bigger impacts, so video games was just kind of It's kind of a meh. So now what I'm doing, you kind of have seen there, I've put the foam tape or the foam up underneath the picture. I've glued down I put the foam also up underneath the little Spanish phrase because it was poking off the corner there. And then I've glued down the Happy Day title there. And now I'm just kind of fitting these little fishtail banners on my areas here. And I'm going to set these here and I'm going to cut away because you don't really need to see me glue them down and just get them glued down there. Oh, I hadn't glued that title down. I apologize. I thought I had. I just set it there. Anyway, so I've glued my little banners down. I'm going to have to trim these off now. So I'm going to flip it over and take it to the cutter. And I'm just going to trim off these extra pieces. You can see there was where I gutted the yellow cardstock for the photo mat. That's the only thing I gutted it for, actually. Sometimes I'll gut like a whole, I'll just only leave an inch to the outside if I feel like I might need it for other things. But in this case, I think I knew I'm only going to just use that one photo mat. So I didn't have to cut as big a hole. All right, so that's that. I got those glued down and everything. Now, this is where I'm going to kind of go a little bit random with the ephemera. This is what I mentioned earlier as well. I put kind of a big piece, I should say big, but kind of a little bit bigger piece of ephemera in each little spot. I put the TV on the right side, the little clock in the upper left. That's kind of to represent the time, that we spent with them. The phone, in my head, I was thinking, okay, we used to talk on the phone a lot, or my daughter did with them. And then I just had that star. I thought about these popcorns. I brought that out, right? But I just couldn't make that work. I don't know why. I tried to set them on, I tried to set one of them on there, and it just, no, I'm not going to do that. So now I'm just gluing down my little ephemera. I thought about putting some of it up on foam, but I thought, no, I got the picture on foam. I'm going to glue these straight down. And plus I have these little puffy stickers. So that's going to be my little small pieces of something on the little corner, or each of the little clusters here. And I just take a little bit of I'm trying to think now what I do here. I can't see, y'all. My little recording thing's on top of it. I think I put little stars, and I put like a little cell phone, a little camera. I'm just picking out things that are kind of, they're not real random, but they're kind of random. That's a little word up there. But I'm just kind of building out the cluster just a little bit. There's some more, put some little stars and stuff. I'm really just kind of making it look, a little bit full on here. Just kind of filling that little clusters out like she's had on the sketch, I guess. And that's really basically all I do this layout. This one didn't take very long once I got myself squared away. And that's kind of good for the end of the challenge, because I think by this point we're kind of, I don't want to say out of gas, but kind of out of gas. Layout every single day is a challenge, right? Here's where I did write the little journaling story at the bottom. I just said something about having gone to Chuck E. Cheese. I did use a pencil to make some straight lines, and that's the slowdown. Thank you guys so much. If you've watched every one of my videos, well, bless your heart. I really appreciate it because I know I talk and natter on. And I really, really do appreciate it. And if you have subscribed while this challenge has been going on, also, I really, really appreciate it. Keep an eye out. I'm going to try to do 1,000 subby hop. Check out the playlist. Check out Instagram. And if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and do so. Talk soon. Bye.